Hey, it's Metalhead Bro X here, and today I'm going to be talking about what I think of the gaming industry. Now, there are many things wrong with the industry that I feel the need to bring up in this rant. Let's get right into it. First of all, it is DLC and microtransactions in games that pisses me off most. I'm not completely against DLC and microtransactions, as I believe that free-to-play games need to make money somewhere. But why should you have to pay to unlock the full features of a game that you already bought? Not to mention you already bought it for the ridiculous 100 plus Aussie dollar price on console. Think of this, you buy a Slayer album and you get 10 tracks on it, but you get 5 tracks on the CD saying you need to pay more money to be able to listen to them. That's what DLCs are basically like these days. I believe that in-game purchases, they're milking us consumers. You know, some people actually want to be milked by these companies, but I might talk more about these people in another video, or maybe I won't even waste my time. Games are also often rushed, and I think games that have rushed development tend to have more DLCs at a later date after the initial release. This is bad because it forces people to empty their wallet just to get the same features that should have been included upon initial release. Rushed game development seems to be a pretty big issue in the gaming industry, because often games, they can be released as early access. Yeah, it has its benefits, but it's also pretty shit. People can find the game okay upon the early stages of development, but hate it after more patches are released and they end up wasting their money. I never purchase games that are in early access because of this issue. It seems that rushed game development has only really been a main thing since the PS4 and Xbox One console generations. But as a result, I don't think the games have their specialness that they used to have. Just look at the main console games that get released. You wait for the game to come down in price, which takes about 6 months, and by then, the game has died in the ass because no one plays it online anymore. Rushed game development is the worst thing in terms of game optimization. You know, there's nothing worse than playing a game at a choppy 24 frames per second, well, apart from the people who actually think they can stand it for a long period of time. The longest I can stand playing under 30 FPS is like 2 hours. You know, a lot of these console players, they don't know the bad experience they're getting, and in turn the game developers think that they're able to keep turning out these performing games, you know, that they do. I remember when I started to learn about how games were actually being ran, and it gave me a big insight into the gaming I was really missing out on. PUBG on Xbox One runs like shit. It's poorly optimized, and it is beyond me how it got released. You know, it really isn't that much better even on the Xbox One X. I have absolutely nothing against people who are on console, but I can tell you that the new future of consoles is coming, and it will be a promising future, if we keep making informed purchases, and we tell the companies how we want it. If we all go against the money-milking business practices of these companies will wake the up, and they'll realise they're going to lose some money. I have a good example of bad business practice. It's regarding DLCs. Now, Payday 2. It's a good game, but you pay good money just for the standard edition. But if you don't buy the ultimate edition, which is like $20 more, you miss out on half of the game's weapons and other functions. I really think this is a good game, but I believe the only thing they did wrong with it was that bad practice of locking half the game's weapons away. You know, now these weapons that you see locked out of the standard edition, you know, they were essential guns that you see in many other gun games such as COD, you know, like the Scar H. I understand that you might say, hey, the goal of a company is to get money. You know, but I don't believe that anybody should be ripped off, because that's what it is, it's ripping people off. That brings us to the end of the video. If you like what I said and agree with me, please like the video. If you didn't like what I had to say, please tell me why you disagree in the comments, and possibly hit the dislike button if you want. And also comment anything that I've missed. Oh yeah, if I hear you raving on about how the gaming industry isn't bad, and that there's nothing wrong with the gaming industry, I'm going to shove a stolen Xbox One down your throat. I have a really good example of a money milking situation regarding DLCs. Payday 2. And this is a good game that you can get, you know, for you. I have a really good example of this money milking situation regarding DLCs. Payday 2. Now this is a good game that you can get, you know, you have to pay good money for it. You know, just you. I remember when I learned Hey, it's Metalhead Bro X here.
Today I'm going to be talking about what I think of the gaming industry.
Yeah, I do not.
Purchase games that are in early access because of this issue. It seems rushed game development has only been a thing since the main PS4 and Xbox One console generation.
If I was to hear anybody say anything ludicrous about PUBG on console, I'd go up to them, grab their head, I'll burn a PUBG logo on their head, and I'll say, "What's PUBG?" Like if I hear anybody saying anything about ludicrous about PUBG, I'll grab one of those things and I'll burn a PUBG logo on their forehead, and I'll say, "What's PUBG?"